if Mind expands to that location. Mind just Mind just comps out of that spot actually. Maybe he's trying to see if there's anything there that he needs to clear out before sending that SCV. If there's a Dragoon waiting for his SCV or something like that. If he's going to go and build a command center. Anyway, so we just got some Vulture harass going on. Vultures running around just trying to do what damage they can, lay down mines. Bisu does have the observers out, so he's going to be able to start clearing those mines out before too long, and he's going straight for the Templar tech. So he's going to have Templar out before too long, and we're probably just going to see a pretty decent macro game is what it looks like, and you know, the kind of game with big battles in the middle. Finally, some shots being fired by these Dragoons. Just clearing out some mines here, clearing out the middle of the map, and that's something that you know, you always see the pro players. They're always constantly just running random vultures out into the middle of the map, everywhere around the map, and planting mines everywhere, just for no particular reason. Well, I mean, the particular reason actually is that then, if the Protoss player is not paying attention, they could lose entire armies, and it's happened to pros as well. I mean, I've seen Stork and Bisu and other top Protoss players just you know, moving or even, well, moving their. See, watch this. Watch what's gonna happen. Nope. Never mind. I thought they were going to run into some mines. Just moving their armies across the map, especially in the late game when they're just macroing like crazy and not paying too much attention to each individual group of units. They can run a group of units through a minefield, and those mines can kill a lot of units pretty quickly. Anyway, so we got Bisu trying to clear out this 6 o'clock position here. Mind has moved his tank line and kind of done this tiered siege tank line down towards that location, towards the 3 o'clock location, so he can take that base. So we're probably going to see both players expanding here pretty quick. Bisu has, looks like 4 gateways, maybe he has more out of this. Okay, an Arbiter is coming as well. So Mind actually taking a sort of a macro lead here. He is leaving himself a little bit vulnerable. The way his tanks are set up, they are tiered, but if Bisu were to come from the side with just the right angle, there's no turrets to stop shuttles from bombing those tanks. Just 4 Marines are the only anti-air there. And Bisu sees it all. He's got an observer above that army right now. So he sees this situation. Bisu is going to expand. And it looks like he's just going to do that, just expand, and it doesn't look like he's really setting up. He's not macroing a ton because he's only got the 4 gateways. So if he'd gotten more gateways and more forces out, I wouldn't be surprised if he would try to clamp down on Mind's base right now. Anyway, Mind again kind of doing the same thing that Bisu was with his pylons earlier, just checking around, making sure, and Bisu also just kind of going around clearing out minefields, making sure that the map is relatively clear so he can move around if he needs to. Bisu has that observer in Mind's base as well, so there's a turret, finally a turret. He's got observer in Mind's base so he can see how many factories he's got down and kind of anticipate what kind of forces he's going to be able to put out. So very useful information there. Anyway, so here we are 13 minutes into the game, or into the video at least, waiting for something to happen. Come on, Bisu, attack. Don't you know your fans are watching? Vulture's running about, just trying to get out, but Bisu has a kind of a lockdown, as it were, on the middle of the map there. He's got Dragoons in several places roaming around. It looks getting a little bit close to Mind's area, though. Mind has a really, his stuff is set up really well. I'm expecting you know, if they were to engage right now, I would expect Mind to be able to win. Okay, more gateways finally going up. What is Bisu doing? He's transferring probes into his main? I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's a pathing issue where he's trying to send them to the 6 o'clock position. That was kind of strange. Anyway, maybe they had been sent to the 3 o'clock position or something, and he was sending them back just to get them out of the way of the vulture fire. Anyway, I really like Mind's setup, is what I was going to say. He's got tanks kind of in tiers. Not many tanks are close to each other. There's mines in between them, so it's a really strongly set up defense line there, basically, is what's going on. He's got the mines in front, the tanks are behind the mines. He doesn't have a lot of vultures, though, at the moment, so not protecting those tanks. So if Bisu comes out with a bunch of speed zealots, which he has right there, then it could be a real problem. He could just run them straight in and take out those tanks. first few zealots will be able to take out the mines or even drag the mines into the tanks, depending on if he moves them or A moves them. Bisu just testing the edge of the line here, just trying to clear out what mines he can without taking any hits, taking any damage. Mind's going to put in a siege tank to kind of stop that from happening and push those back. But Bisu is just being very, very cautious, just kind of probing the edges of Mind's defenses, checking out, seeing what he can do, clearing out mines. He's being very, very good about, he's being very patient, basically. Bisu's being very patient right now. Yeah, and so let's see, Mind has, I think he's got 6 or 7 factories now. I didn't get a good glimpse there, but I think he has several factories at the moment. He's got 3 bases going strong, and he's starting to turret and mine up his bases as well. There's those speed zealots. We might see Bisu thinking about moving in for an attack here. Mind does have several vultures in the area now, so he could be able to reinforce and stop any speed zealots from getting in close to his tanks. And that's really what I was worried about with his defense line before, was the amount of vultures that he had, support units in general, to try and stop zealots from getting in close to his tanks. Bisu has now got his full army. He had just some small armies kind of moving around in the middle of the map. Now he's got his full army patrolling around the middle, and this is kind of an interesting situation. Little probe just sitting there making stuff. The vulture is attacking the cannon for some reason instead of the probe, so he gets the nexus down. So Bisu is going to end up with 5 bases here pretty soon, so Mind is going to have to do something. He's either going to have to somehow take a 4th base, which is going to be a little bit difficult. He's going to have to really stretch himself thin in order to do that, or he's going to have to do some damage to Bisu. Bisu again continuing probe. It looks like Mind may be trying to move his siege tank lines down south to try and take that bottom right corner. There we go. Stasis going in on one of the vessels, and a lot of the vultures, a single tank. He's got the shuttle coming in from behind. It's going to get hit by the turret, but he's going to be able to drop zealots right on top of those tanks, and huge mine drag goes off while taking out all of that front line of tanks. Bisu's able to push in farther and farther. Now, Mind does have several lines behind this. He's got some reinforcements coming in. He sieges up on the... Whoa, no! He doesn't have a lot of siege tanks behind there. He's been completely overrun. Where are your siege tanks, Mind? Bisu has completely breached his front line there. It looks like he's only got a handful of dragoons left, so he's probably going to get pushed back before too long, but he may be able to do some significant damage here. And Mind is moving his tanks, suiciding his tanks in way too close to those dragoons, and so Bisu has completely cleared out his front line. He's got speed zealots running in to reinforce. 8 factories are actually up for Mind, so he's going to be able to put out a lot of units pretty quickly, but I think it's too late, though. I think he just did not have enough stuff on the ground. I do not know how he didn't have any tanks around. What was Mind doing or thinking? And now he's going to have to run his forces from that 3rd base. He's going to try and reset up his line, but I think he just stretched himself too thin there, and I have no idea where all his units were. He had